This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your Weekly Blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game. Coming to you from the crossroads of industry knowledge and business innovation, this is the Weekly Blitz, hosted by me, Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching. The Weekly Blitz is the show that supercharges your auto repair business knowledge, helping you navigate the labyrinth of the automotive world, giving you the tools and the tips you need to steer your business to success. Each week, we deliver an episode jam-packed with insider know-how, industry developments, practical business strategies, and surprising things you didn't know you didn't know. The Weekly Blitz is brought to you by Shop Marketing Pros. I've been personally recommending Shop Marketing Pros since way before they were a podcast sponsor. They also do most, if not all, of my clients' marketing, and they should be doing yours as well. Many of my coaching clients work with Shop Marketing Pros and see results like they've never seen from other marketers. To learn more about their top-tier marketing for top-tier shops, see their link in the show notes or go to shopmarketingpros.com/Chris. It's time to roll up the garage door on the mysteries of auto repair entrepreneurship. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a starter in the game, this podcast is your owner's manual to running a successful independent auto repair shop. Now strap yourselves in, turn the key, and let's hit the gas. Today, I want to talk about communication. I'm a firm believer that 95% of issues in our auto repair shops stem from some form of communication deficiency. But before we discuss clear and effective communication, it's essential to understand the barriers that can hinder communication. So we're going to start out with these three common barriers. Number one, miscommunication. Miscommunication occurs when the intended message isn't properly understood by the recipient. It can happen due to several different reasons, such as language barriers, different interpretations of words or phrases, cultural differences, or even poor listening skills. Miscommunication can lead to misunderstandings, confusion, and errors. Number two is going to be lack of communication. Lack of communication refers to situations where there is insufficient or inadequate information exchanged between individuals or within a group. This can occur due to various factors like poor organizational structure, hierarchical barriers, or simply neglecting to share important information. Lack of communication can result in incomplete knowledge, decreased productivity, and weakened relationships. Number three, improper communication. Improper communication refers to situations where the message is conveyed in an ineffective or inappropriate manner. This can include using overly technical language, especially in our industry. A lot of times we tend to talk too much and not stop and listen. Big problem with me. And a big problem with me meaning I do that all the time. Also being too vague or ambiguous, or failing to consider the needs and preferences of the audience. Improper communication can lead to frustration, confusion, and the breakdown of relationships. When we talk about issues in the auto repair shop about why people are upset, usually the number one answer is my car wasn't delivered when promised. That can 100% be cleared up by making sure that we underpromise and over-deliver. Understanding these barriers is crucial for effective communication, and by identifying and addressing these obstacles, individuals and organizations can strive for clearer and more effective communication, and this is going to foster a better understanding, collaboration, and productivity in the shop. So effective communication is super critical in any business setting, but it's particularly crucial in an auto repair shop where service advisors and technicians need to communicate frequently with each other and also with ownership. Especially if you're in a shop that doesn't have a cloud-based SMS system, if you're working on paper and things like that, the more steps, the more people you have involved, the bigger the chance of messing everything up. It's like the old telephone game that they used to play. It goes from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And by the time it gets to the end, the final statement is nothing like it was in the beginning. So again, everything comes down to communication. So I'm going to step aside here just a second. If you want to work with the best in the business, you need to be working with Shop Marketing Pros. They are absolute professionals when it comes to putting a light on your business. And speaking about communication, the SMP team is going to talk to you a lot. They communicate like no other team in the industry. They are ready, willing, and able to take care of your needs. And if you have any issues come up, Brian has a great story that he was relaying to me the other day where a shop owner was having some issues with SEO, Google Ads, sent an email to the team, and within less than 24 hours, Brian had researched that and gotten back to him, and the owner was shocked. That's good, but the owner shouldn't be shocked that somebody got back to them and within 24 hours. That should be an expectation. In addition to the links that are going to be in the show notes, you can go listen to Brian and Kim on the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. You can find it on the Aftermarket Radio Network, and that link is in the show notes as well. If you're looking for a marketing company to take you to the next level, then why not try Shop Marketing Pros, top tier marketing for top tier shops. So to continue down this communication road, here's 10 suggestions to facilitate and improve communication in this setting. Number 1, we want to establish clear roles and responsibilities. Each team member should know their role, what is expected from them, and who they need to communicate with on specific matters. This will ensure that the right messages are going to the right people at the right time. Again, another good reason to have an employee handbook and job descriptions. You can also talk about communication in there. Number 2, regular meetings. Every time I say regular meetings, everybody's like, we got to have another meeting. Schedule regular meetings where everyone can discuss updates, voice concerns, share feedback, or learn about new policies. This can also help to improve relationships between staff, making for more effective communication. But the other thing is we need to make sure that our employees realize that we care. And that's how we do it, by voicing frustration and talking about things in regular meetings. This can be weekly held employee meetings. It can be a morning technician meeting, and then it can be a sales meeting with the service advising staff and the manager, if you have one. It can also be, again, just a monthly meeting to reach out and touch up with each other. The other thing is, these meetings need to have agendas. You need to stick to the agenda and remember to pull the ripcord and get out if you need to. But most of these meetings, 80% of these meetings should be 15 minutes or less. The individual meetings with the employees and the morning meetings with technicians, 15 minutes or less. The sales staff meeting should be an hour or less. And the overall meeting with the group should be over lunch or dinner and an hour or less. Okay. So number 3, use appropriate communication channels. Depending on the information being shared, different communication methods may be more effective. For instance, email might work for less urgent messages, while a face-to-face discussion may be needed for complex or delicate matters. Also, you can't just run through the shop and point to somebody and say, you do that. Chances are somebody else is going to pull them away, and they're going, due to that interruption, they're going to forget what you said. So make sure you follow up. If you have Slack, text, there's all kinds of different ways to communicate. Hopefully your shop management system has something in there, but don't just stand and have a conversation with somebody. If it's important enough to stop and have a conversation, it's probably important enough to also follow up again, written wise. Number 4, implement a communication software. Modern technology can greatly assist in communication efforts. Platforms like Slack or Microsoft Teams allow for real-time organized communication that can be accessed from multiple devices. There's so many different ways to choose from. You just need to make sure that you find one that works for you and then go from there. It can also just be a walkie-talkie. Like if you have a huge shop and you can't get from the front to the back, or people are taking steps, then use a walkie-talkie. That's the other thing. Monitor your technicians' steps every day and see how many they take, and make it a goal to reducing that down. Okay. Number 5, training. Regular training sessions can help improve communication skills within your team. This could involve active listening skills, appropriate use of body language, and clarity in message delivery. Number 6, open door policy. Encourage an open door policy where any staff member feels comfortable sharing ideas, concerns, or questions with management. This can facilitate a culture of trust and openness. This door goes both ways though, right? Like, encourage your employees to come in, talk to you, but be prepared for what they have to say, and be prepared to take something that maybe upsets you a little bit. But you need to think about why it upsets you. If it's the truth and it needs to be fixed, then it's okay to be upset about it. But if this is our culture, we can't penalize people for coming in. Just realize that we need to make sure that they come in and talk it out, and then we move on from there. Number 7, create a common language. In an auto repair shop, it's important that everyone understands the terminology being used. Regular training can ensure that all staff members, from service advisors to technicians, are on the same page with regards to the language used in the shop. This is big, especially with all the terminology that we use, ARO, LHPRO, ELR, and things like that. If you need to have a written glossary of terms, to share with your employees, then you need to do that. Put it in the employee handbook. Okay. Number 8, feedback. Encourage constructive feedback from all team members. This helps everyone to improve and learn from their mistakes, and it also promotes a culture of continuous improvement. Number 9, documentation. Maintain good documentation of all communication, especially regarding repairs and customer interactions. This not only helps in case of any disputes, but also serves as a reference point for future communications. I just taught a class in Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. This is one of my big points to shop owners. Every repair order needs to be written in such a manner that 3 years after the fact, you can print it out, you can go into a court of law and defend yourself and your actions by just reading the report. If it's not done that way, then you've got some work to do, right? Number 10, empathy and respect. Treat all communication with empathy and respect. This goes a long way in ensuring that all team members feel valued and heard, which in turn makes them more willing to communicate effectively. Remember, effective communication doesn't just happen. It's something that needs to be worked on and cultivated over time. By putting these tips into practice, you can create a more efficient, productive, and harmonious auto repair shop. I hope you found this episode of the Weekly Blitz informative and inspiring. I truly believe in the power of knowledge and collaboration to drive success, and I trust that these insights we've shared today can empower you to take your auto repair business to the next level. We're incredibly grateful for all of our listeners. Your commitment to learning, growth, and improvement is what keeps us doing what we do, and we never forget that. We also want to thank our incredible sponsor, Shop Marketing Pros, for making the show possible. Their dedication to the success of independent auto repair shops like yours is truly unparalleled. Shop Marketing Pros provides top-tier marketing for top-tier shops just like yours. Remember, success doesn't come to you. You have to go out and get it. It's about making strategic decisions, fostering effective management, and continuously seeking to educate yourself and your team. That's what the Weekly Blitz is all about, and we're committed to being a resource for you every step of the way. Join us next week as we continue to provide actionable insights, expert advice, and real-world stories from the trenches of the auto repair industry. Don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast with fellow shop owners, and leave us a review if you enjoyed today's episode. Also, all of these episodes are going up in video format on the YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and type in AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching. If you want to see me talk into the camera instead of listening, I'd love to have you there as well. As always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to tackle in an upcoming episode, please get in touch. Chris@AutoFixSOS.com. Your input is what shapes this show. Until next time, everybody, this is Chris Cotton signing off. Keep your gears running smoothly, keep learning, and keep growing. Remember, in this business, every day is a chance to get better. Here's to your continued success. As always, it's time to rise and grind. Have a great day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the AftermarketRadioNetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.